So, Mark, did you see all those tanks that were rolling down on the train tracks through Las Vegas? Like hundreds of tanks just going through the street. It looked like a scene straight out of North Korea.
Are they fit? What's that movie with like Patrick Swayze back in the day where they had the high school kids and Russia like comes in with the tanks and they I can't remember the name of it.
I
Red
don't
Dawn.
remember it
Yeah,
either,
they're
but
refilming Red Dawn or everything's going to Area 51 because the aliens got out. You never know. One of the two.
yeah, it's crazy to see that site. It's not something you see every day. According to the army or whoever it was,
Sure,
these
sure.
were these were tanks were going from Fort Irwin to Fort Hood or vice versa, and that they make redeployments like this 10 out of 12 months of the year or something. So it happens all the time. I don't ever remember seeing it happening in Las Vegas, but nothing to worry about if you
So
were freaked out.
so we move pieces from one place to the other like every so often for no reason.
It has to cost a lot of money, right, to move
Yeah.
these tanks on trains. But yeah, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So Las Vegas, you're safe from invasion. All right, Mark, we have a lot to discuss this week, including what Caesars did to their members with the diamond status match. Let's get into that. So basically, we've talked a lot about this, and we were one of the first blogs and people in the space to cover this years ago, where Wyndham and Caesars had this partnership, and if you could get Wyndham status, you could get Caesars diamond status, and keep matching it back and forth, and kind of what they called the carousel or the roundabout or all this stuff. People came up with all kinds of terms for it. That apparently died. Recently, Caesars added language that if you don't have earned status with the partner program like Wyndham, then you don't get the status with them. And what they did was retroactively, they went back, anybody who they had matched to diamond status, they went and downgraded them back to gold or wherever they're supposed to be. A lot of people have lost their status. It's pretty painful.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like we knew this would end at some point, especially with Caesars being bought and what we've seen over the last couple of years since that purchase is just like deteriorating anything that's value, anything that can cut costs type of thing. Which this was definitely over the top and stuff nobody deserved for sure. So we're not like complaining about that, but you figured once we saw the terms and people were still getting matched, thought, okay, this is just setting it up for next year because the status match window's already open. People have already done it. But the fact that they're going back and retroactively clawing stuff back and taking dinner certs back and downgrading people's status, I didn't expect that necessarily. I mean, I thought they just kind of let it roll. It's been going like that for 7 years now or however long it's been going on. So that's kind of what I figured, but we shouldn't be surprised. It's Caesars these days.
Well, what is surprising is a lot of these matches were done before they changed the terms, or we don't know the exact date that they changed the terms, but it was discovered a few weeks ago. So I believe some of these matches were done before that, and they haven't communicated with customers. They could send out an email saying we changed our policies or whatever, but people are just logging in to see they were downgraded. No doubt people have reservations. Now, I logged in after seeing this, and my account was downgraded. I had tested out the match, but I have my diamond status through Founders Card, and apparently there was a mix-up with my account. So I've already contacted Founders Card, and they've confirmed that if you have your status through Founders Card, and we also know if you have it through the Wyndham Business Card, the Rewards Earner Card, that you get to keep your diamond status. So this is for people who basically matched from Wyndham without having earned the status. So hopefully I'll have my status back, but I have a reservation for April, and I know people have reservations, so resort fees are going to come into play, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's definitely not a customer-friendly move. It's almost like treating the people who matched as villains or as if they did something wrong when they were just following the terms of the promotion as it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be upset, and a lot of people are going to shift, especially in the miles and points space, going to shift their stays to MGM because MGM just refreshed their rewards program in gold. If you have Hyatt status and you match over, you can get waived resort fees there now. And that was kind of the big perk of Diamond. I mean, the dinner, celebration dinner was nice. The show tickets, which are like non existent now, so it's not even really a perk. And the lounge access isn't a perk anymore. So, it was basically the waived resort fees. So they did all this to claw that back. And I could see them, if you wanted to add terms where you have to earn tier credits, kind of like how MGM has it set up, you have to actually earn the tier credits to get the celebration dinner. I think that'd be fine. Just the waive resort fees was kind of like the perk that people I think will miss the most, and that can add up to hundreds of dollars every year. So, are you walking over a dollar to pick up a penny? I don't know. Are you going to lose a lot of reservations because of this? A lot of cash stays. because they don't want to pay the resort fee now. So I think it potentially could lead to that. I don't know how big of a, we always think in this space that we make up a big number, but we're probably relatively small, which is probably why the match went on for so long.
Yeah, it's certainly a big loss for people who are doing it. Like I said, the good news is it's still possible to get diamond status without gambling a ton. And we've learned that the Atlantis offer has been working, but who knows what will happen as they, continue to enforce things, because there are terms saying.
What happens when you show up to Atlantis and your status has been clawed back?
Given my experience at Atlantis with customer service, I would not want that to happen, Mark. I would not. You probably get billed for thousands of dollars, and then they would, yeah. I wouldn't want that to happen. But at least you can get it through the Wyndham business card, which is the best way. I think that's a $95 annual fee. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the best way. As well as they just came out with a match through, if you have FanDuel or DraftKings, a lot of states have sports betting live now. So if you get status through that, some of their top tier status, which isn't easy to achieve, but if you do have that, then you can match that over. You do have to earn 100 tier credits once on property to unlock the dinner, which is pretty easy to do. So that might be something if your match doesn't fall off and you're not seeing the dinner, just earn 100 tier credits, see if it happens. It works out that way. Who knows if that's a thing that needs to be triggered now or not.
Yeah, so and Founders Card, like I said, still going strong. So there's definitely still ways. We'll have some updated resources in the links in the description. Let us know, though. Check your status. Let us know if you did this match, if you still have your status, what's going on. We're getting lots of reports of people downgraded, tons of reports actually at this point. So we'll keep you guys updated on the latest with that. Now, Mark, this week, Station Casinos also held a groundbreaking for their Durango Casino. I covered what the lot looks like in the area on our construction video recently, so you can check that out if you want to see some more looks at that, and I'll throw some up here.
If you want to see some dirt.
Yeah. Well, they made it better for the groundbreaking, and I'll show some footage from other people there. They did a pop-up preview, as they called it, of the casino resort, including inspirational hotel vignettes set across the construction site. So things like, the sign and what the beds will look like and things like that. But they had media out there, gave us more details of it. Let's start with the look. We got some new looks at what it's going to look like. It's pretty nice, very modern. They're kind of doing away with the gray kind of color scheme that's very popular these days, more like a whitewashed thing with neutral tones, natural stone. What do you think?
I think it looked cool. It looked nice, and it definitely is probably a step up from the properties that they've remained, shuttered. And I've seen people theorize that. And I don't know if you agree with this. Do you think this casino will be busier than the other ones that they've kept closed, and that's kind of the reason they did it? Like they're like, hey, we could have 2 or 3 okay casinos or one really good one, cheaper operations, but the same type of gambling numbers. You know the area a lot better, so I'm curious to hear what you have to say about that.
Well, it's in a different area of town than those other ones, but basically over the years, Station Casinos kind of ended up with 2 different tiers of hotels. They have like Green Valley Ranch and Red Rock, which are high-end resorts, beautiful pools. They're destinations onto themselves, and this is what Durango is going to be. They also built Aliante Station way back 10 years ago that was in a similar sort of footprint, but they lost that through bankruptcy. So that's kind of their upscale thing, and that's where I think they want to head as a company. And then you had things like Boulder Station, Sunset Station, the Fiestas, Texas Station, which were just local kind of normal casinos. And those are the ones we're seeing some of them closed, like the Fiestas and the Texas Stations. They're really on the lower end of the local casino market. So yeah, it does seem like maybe they're shuttering those to kind of get rid of their worst performing properties. We don't know what's going to happen, but most likely, they'll sell the land or something. We wouldn't expect that they would sell it to a competitor at this point, but who knows how that works out. But yeah, this is sort of them going into a higher end space. $750 million is what they're going to spend on this. It's going to have an 83,000 square foot
Sounds cheap.
casino. Yeah, it does compared to all the numbers we see.
Yeah.
But only 200 hotel rooms to start, so smaller there. 83,000 square feet of casino space, though, is not small. It's probably an average size casino. 4 signature food and beverage outlets. They're going to have the food hall concept, which is becoming so popular everywhere now. A state-of-the-art sports book. What I really liked is 40 electric vehicle charging stations, Mark, so that got me all excited.
There you
and
go.
Also, like Green Valley Ranch, like Red Rock, a resort-style pool, which is, like I said, a destination. They have really good pools at those properties. So, yeah, it seems like it's going to be high-end. It looks great.
while you're charging your Tesla, you can go into the food hall, which is also a mall food court. But yeah,
Well, I mean, the food hall concepts tend to, the mall food courts tend to have like national chain stuff. Hopefully, they bring in some
yeah,
local things
that's
and
true.
like, more food truck inspired, or, we see what Resorts World has done. So I do like the trend towards food halls, trying to bring better quality food to a food court because it is still a
They
food
should just
court. But
they should just do what Caesars does and name them all Gordon Ramsay.
yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, I think this is good. This is a heavily trafficked area of town. There's tons of traffic there already. This is going to create some more headaches, I think, in that realm. But, Station Casino's been around a long time in Las Vegas. They know how to run these places. I like Green Valley Ranch. I like Red Rock, even though I had talked, on a previous show, a month and a half ago, saying how it feels a little dated. But the resort itself is nice, and they know how to run nice resorts. So I expect this to be pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be cool to check it out when when it's up and running, and it is interesting to see them shift. Because over throughout the pandemic, we've talked about local casinos doing well. So you think even like lower end properties would be making money if they would keep it open, but it just shows the shift that they think, hey, higher end, even for locals, is kind of we want to be like a staycation or a place people come to for that. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out.
Yeah, and this really is only about 10 minutes from the strip. It's not far from like Allegiant Stadium. It's on that side, so you could get there fairly easy via back streets and stuff like that. So there is some draw there too. It's much closer, I'd say, to the strip than some of their other properties. So good for a destination. And we'll keep you guys updated as construction goes on, and let us know what you think about these new renderings and what they revealed. All right, also revealed this week was that Bonnie Springs Resort. This is a kind of used to be a private ranch out in the Red Rock area, Mark, that had like train rides and had like an old West town where you could see like cowboy shootout shows and a petting zoo. A really cool place to bring the family. It closed a few years ago. A developer bought it, said they were going to build houses out there. We now learned what they're building. It's called the Reserve at Red Rock Canyon. 16 home sites, $5 million a piece. People are very upset about this, about taking something that was sort of a historic family attraction and then building 16 super wealthy sites in the middle of Red Rock Canyon on private land. We knew it was coming, but yeah, that's what they're doing. What do you think?
They're trying to get Gene Simmons back.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it'll be a little bit warmer or a little cooler out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just we talked about I think it was last week about how crazy the housing market is. So these people are coming in with a lot of money and driving up prices. So if you're going to go after something, you're going to build a high end, and building 16 houses and making that kind of money is pretty insane. So I can see why they did it. I can also see why people would be upset, but they should have started a foundation, bought the land, kept it running, something like that. I mean, once a place goes up for sale, you really can't do anything about it, I don't think.
The other thing to consider here is this is an incredibly unique place, right? This is surrounded by BLM land. This is a national conservation area, Red Rock is. So to be able to own a home right out in the middle of this is very unique. It's very sort of scarce. And so that's why the prices are going to be high. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to have a house out there. And really, the city has grown to where the Mountain's Edge area is maybe 10 or 15 minutes away. Summerlin area is 15 minutes away. So you're not actually that remote, yet you're out in the middle of nature and basically a really beautiful area. So yeah, I mean, I wish I had $5 million to buy a lot there, but
We
not
need
going to
more
happen.
subscribers.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe and tell a million of your friends, and then yeah, we'll do it. If I get 5 million, I'll put a train ride around it, and I'll open it up
We
once in
should
a
do
while
a
for everybody.
GoFundMe like everybody else with YouTube does.
There you go. There you go. All right, so let's move on to food. Let's talk a little bit of food. You're a big fan of Vanderpump, the show, Vanderpump Rules, and the Vanderpump Cocktail Garden at Caesar's Palace, as am I. I mean, it's very pricey, but it's a cool place. The food is pretty good. The drinks are pretty good. And they're opening up the space in the former Laurel Lounge or Diamond Lounge at Paris, Vanderpump Paris. We got a first look at it on TikTok, and I think it looks really good. It mixes in really well with the decor of Paris. What
Are
do you
you
think?
kind of surprised, like I am, how quickly this came together? I felt like it was going to take a lot longer than this to rehab that whole space into And Lisa always has really great designs and stuff, and very high end stuff, and it always looks really cool. Which this, of course, did as well. But to transform that, it was kind of dingy, dark, boring lounge, and it was closed off, and now it's kind of open, and airways breathing through it, and just it has that sex appeal and everything. I really thought it would take a lot longer than this.
Yeah, I agree. This space was dark, very dark before. They've done a great job with it. Looking forward to trying it out when it opens. I think it's a great use of the space. Sad to lose that lounge, obviously, but that's a different story for another day. All right, so moving on, there's this other TikTok account I found, Real Brandon from Vegas, and he likes to talk real kind of food things, and I really do like his account. And he talked about Los Tacos better than Tacos El Gordo. He says there's 5 taco shops in Vegas that are better than Tacos El Gordo. So he didn't list them all, but he said Los Tacos, which there's 2 locations in Vegas. I had forgotten. Jasmine and I used to go to this place like quite often many years ago. Tacos are really, really good. I still think Tacos El Gordo is better, but I just wanted to give people more recommendations. I know people are always looking for great places. Los Tacos has a location on Sahara near where Tacos El Gordo is, another one on Charleston near downtown. So
maybe the
definitely want to highlight that.
Maybe the lines aren't so crazy.
It's
staying out at Resorts World. That's a good idea. Go check that out instead of the mob that is Tacos El Gordo.
All right, and then one last food story, Jet's Pizza. This is something that Mark is very excited about because this is a Detroit staple, apparently. It's coming to Henderson near the Galleria Mall on Sunset. Mark says this is the best chain pizza in the world. So I'm excited to try it out. Good Detroit pizza coming to Vegas.
Yeah, it's not like 100% traditional Detroit style, but it is very good, and it does have like the crispy edges and the burnt cheese into the crust and everything, which is a very unique flavor that you don't really get anywhere else, and it's way better than Pizza Rock's try to be Detroit style knockoff. That's horrible. But sorry, I had to put the dig in there. But yeah, it's probably my favorite chain pizza. It's a very solid, like 8 out of 10 for me. Get the deep dish style. The rounds actually, their round is pretty good too. But I have a friend that owns part of one, and they're just busy. They're everywhere. Like they're starting to pop up. They're big in the Midwest, down in Florida, and kind of the East Coast, and now working its way out. So I think they'll be everywhere at some point. But a lot of growth over the last 10, 15 years, and hopefully I have some video up right now from my buddy. He said he'll take some video of a pizza coming out of the oven while he's at work tomorrow. So, you guys get to see it, and then, have the saliva dripping from your tongue and then want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. All right, let's pivot to Excalibur. Just in case anybody out there was thinking about booking a cheap Excalibur stay, waive resort fee with their gold. A Las Vegas blogger on TikTok recently stayed there and did a video. And yeah, this is worse than I've ever seen for Excalibur. I know people love to make fun of it, but a dusty phone, dry stains all over the tables, greasy curtain, mystery stains on the bed skirt, and a lot of them, pet hair on the couch. Oh my God, this looked like a nightmare. It made me, I don't think I want to stay there again anytime soon. Housekeeping's still such an issue in Vegas.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's kind of crazy just how much they're still struggling with it. And, we haven't talked about it. I don't think it was on the agenda today, but Uber drivers are quitting right and left in Vegas as well, which has been an issue since the pandemic started because of gas prices. So, I think that's going to be an issue. Getting around Vegas is going to be an issue. And then getting a clean room is still an issue. Even at high-end resorts, like on Aria, that charge $400 or $500 a night, they can't even keep their rooms clean. So it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's nasty. We'll put a link in the description if you want to see it again. Just open my eyes to stay away from Excalibur, because if housekeeping is struggling, to your point, at the higher end resorts, it's going to struggle at a place like Excalibur. Although I did stay at Luxor this year or last year, and it was fine. So who knows? All right. So we talked about Criss Angel and an update on that. We talked about how he was struggling to sell tickets. Then all of a sudden they just canceled all of the March performances, and basically all the performances March 11th.
He got hurt in the middle of a performance, I guess. Everybody's saying it was fake. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
like
Scott,
10 minutes in, they're just like, it's over, done, sorry. And then he went to the hospital for a groin injury. But then they said that people were saying that he did like a private show the next day or something. I don't know. So it just seems really fishy.
Yeah, I think it's just another case of ticket sales aren't quite where they should be. And perhaps there are some rumors that he's having some creative struggles with Franco Dragon, who's helping create the show. So who really knows what's going on there?
What a cool...
Yeah, Dragon. He's the one who created La Rev, and he came from Cirque back in the day. So he created a lot of those early Cirque shows in Vegas.
Just let him do
exactly. Exactly.
But
So
no, I mean, is Vegas where shows go to die now? I feel like if you are anybody, stay away. Just don't open it. Brittany, don't do it.
hey, Lady Gaga's doing pretty good. A lot of people are doing pretty good in Vegas. But yeah, it's still a struggle. It's weird because we've talked about hotel occupancy is really high, especially on the weekends. Gaming revenues, of course, are at record levels, but the show stuff, it does seem to just be a little bit slower. And Vital Vegas makes some points. The name of the show, Amystica, is sort of weird. It's not really evident that Criss Angel's in the show or what the show's about in any of
I
the
mean,
marketing
is
materials.
Criss Angel even big anymore? Like, do
I
most
think he
people?
has a lot of fans. I
Do
think
you think
he.
like the 25 to 30-year olds know who he is though? I don't feel like he hasn't been on anything in like 10 years,
Yeah,
15 years.
I don't know. I mean, I think that they'll get the show off the ground and it'll do well, because magic shows in Vegas do when the shows rebound in general. It
That's
doesn't
true.
have to be
They've had
anything great.
some bad. I've been to some bad magic shows in Vegas, and they still bring them out. So
There you go. There you go. All right.
I forget. Okay, let me tell a story. I forget
Okay.
which one it was, but it was like a day show, so it's not great. But it was like free tickets or whatever, and the guy's like, "I'm going to take the stripes off this tiger," and then he waves a thing, and then you could tell it's a totally different tiger. It was like 75, 80 pounds lighter. It was like,
Yeah,
okay, buddy, maybe you should feed him the same. I don't know. That would be an idea.
that's funny. I haven't been to any of those tiger shows ever in Vegas. I never got to Siegfried and Roy, and then the other ones just seemed like they would be cheap imitations of
It
that. So I
was,
just
yeah.
never, yeah, I never did it. Well, good to know that I didn't miss much there, other than a little comedy maybe. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, I'm traveling again, obviously not at home, but I am staying at the Bear River Casino, which is in Humboldt County, California, not far from our friend Ian, who lives in Ferndale, and Eureka is near here. And I stopped in
Weed
here,
capital of the world.
yeah, something like that, where they do all that. Also, Bigfoot is from this area apparently, so a lot of interesting things here. But this is a Native American casino, and we thought we'd stop in here for the night. The first thing is, around this area, it's probably the nicest hotel. So me not wanting to stay in another terrible motel along the highway. We've been coming up Highway 1, went through Big Sur, did the drive north of San Francisco, basically driving the entire coast of California up into Oregon. Absolutely beautiful, all kinds of great sights. But we stopped in the casino. I thought I'd give people a look at it. What a very small Native American casino in the middle of nowhere in California is. And I was surprised, Mark, the casino is very, very nice. It's actually bigger than I thought. Really high-end materials. The hotel is very nice as well. Just like in most places, the hotel and casino are separate, so you have a separate lobby, so kids, aren't going through the casino and stuff. And they have what I think is really cool is the soft drinks on tap, just like in Detroit, so you don't have to wait for a
Yeah,
cocktail
only
service.
Vegas is cheap. Only Vegas is cheap.
But yeah, it's cool. It was pretty hopping, pretty busy. A lot of old locals, it seems like. But it was like $100 a night, cheaper than anywhere else. Like I said, cheaper than some really bad motels. But it got me thinking about like what are the pitfalls of staying in a casino. As my wife decided to go downstairs at like 9 o'clock last night to get a little break, and then lost a few dollars. So then that kind of
Didn't
offset
come
the
back till
savings.
3 in the morning.
No, she wasn't gone that long. But a good thing about it, though, is they have free chargers for the Tesla. So got to charge the Tesla's battery all the way up for free. And that kind of offsets some of the costs, too. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it's kind of cool to see a local casino that's not part of the national chains. This is its own thing, its own tribe here. But that also means that any money that she lost, we're not going to get any offers we'd have to come all the way back up here, which I'm not sure that's going to happen. So, but really nice.
Yeah, I've always found tribal casinos to be very nice. But we have quite a few around Michigan, and they're all, pretty nice, higher end, nice hotels type of thing, and just a lot of people in there all the time, man. So they keep them busy for sure.
Yep. So let us know in the comments what your favorite tribal local casinos are that are kind of outside the major players. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. And also any of these other stories. What do you think about Criss Angel, tanks going through Las Vegas, $5 million lots out at Red Rock or Durango, the new casino? Love to know what you guys.
Detroit-style pizza.
Detroit style pizza. Caesars downgrading everybody. It's crazy. Don't forget, if you like this show, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, smash the thumbs up, whatever works for you. Also, for everything Vegas related, our posts, our podcasts, our videos, head to mtmvegas.com. Thanks so much to everybody who subscribes, listens, watches. We really appreciate it. Talk to you guys next time.
See you next week.